All right, what's up, everybody? It's Drew Peoples from Peoples Collectibles. Today we've got I got a Sam's Club membership. A buddy sent a picture to me of basically the same thing, but instead of this theme deck, it was Simone or whatever her name is, the Simic Commander. And this is not a crazy super good deal or anything. Actually, I think the photo he sent me, it didn't have the price, so it was $50 before tax. Which is it a deal? Kind of, sort of. So the MSRP of these is $50. I looked up the Dustmorn decks, and this one and the one that was at the other Sam's Club are both discounted to 35. There was another one discounted to 40, and then another one that was like $100. So if the one that's $100, if you could find that in one of these things, fantastic. But something tells me probably the two that are the cheapest right now got thrown into these little things. But that aside, you get 3 packs here: Edge of Eternities, Dustmorn, and Foundations, all play boosters. I'd say MSRP of those is about $5. Buying singles, of course, like in a blister, is going to run you about like $6 before tax. But just for the purposes of trying to evaluate the financial worth of this kind of thing, I would estimate this to be about worth like $40, and these like $5 a piece. So basically, I mean, you're breaking even in a way. I wouldn't go out and like buy as many of these as possible, but just picking up one of these to have a new deck, crack a few packs, and just have a little fun. And a little promo there. Nothing crazy. I don't think he's super sought after card. I mean, halfway decent. Like Shark Typhoon, just not as good because it's on a creature, so it's easier to remove. And you get incubate tokens instead of what is it? Just straight up tokens. And with Shark Typhoon, it's flyers as well. All right, so we'll start off with the packs here. Just see if we can get anything halfway decent. We'll go in ascending order. We got our little promo thing here. Often see these kinds of guys in the MJ Holding kind of products with the mana symbols down there. At least that is where I have caught these. And like the Bloomsboro tins, holiday tins that were like sold through Walmart. The promos in there, similar kind of emblem, foiling emblem there. All right, Foundations. And if we can get a hit in any of these packs, that'd be super duper dope. Let's see, Foundations. There's Sire of 7 Deaths. That's still a pretty big one, I think. Twin Flame Bro, also pretty good. I already have one of those, but still worth a pretty penny, so not bad to see. All right, Spinner of Souls. All right, Sphinx of Forgotten Lore. We did get a mythic there. Not one of the crazy ones, I don't think. So we have a 4-mana 3/3 flash flyer. Whenever this creature attacks, target instant or sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback until end of turn. The flashback cost is equal to that card's mana value. All right, so I mean, not too bad. Kind of like a what's his name? Snapcaster Mage. Nowhere near as good, obviously, but kind of in a similar ballpark. Now obviously, with Snapcaster, not only is he cheaper, but you get to play the instant or sorcery immediately, where this is more value over time, but you don't immediately get to attack with him just flashing in, right? So you can't do something in response to your opponent. So not really the same thing, but we at least got a mythic there. All right, so we got Dustmorn here. Any of the Overlords would be halfway decent. Screaming Nemesis, also a cool card to see. All right, so we got Under the Skin. Dissection Tools. Unstoppable Slasher. That is a halfway decent rare. We got a full art land and a foil uncommon there. All right. And Edge of Eternities. We want the Sphinx from here for sure. Any of the planets, I guess, is cool. Any cool land. Any of the stellar sites would be neato to see for sure. All right, we got something back there. Oh, okay. Evendo for we got the planet. What's this? Contested war zone. All right. I don't think that's anything. So we did get a foil stellar sight, and we got a planet. And the planet is obviously the more exciting thing here. So basically a Gaia's cradle. And, people weren't too hyped about the planets at first. They're not too powerful, but what we've noticed is that station ability is actually pretty fucking powerful. So you can only activate it as a sorcery, right? But you can use it on these lands as soon as they come into play, even though they're tapped, right? And you can do them on creatures as soon as they come into play, even if they have summoning sickness. And there's like that one guy from Duskmourn, right? That when he's tapped at your second main phase, you get to put a permanent card from your hand into the battlefield. Like, there's some powerful stuff you can do because they have, they've been making synergies for cards that are, tapped after a certain time. So having a free way to do that, which also turns a land into a Gaia's Cradle, is pretty good. All right, so 2 mythics for 3 packs. We'll take that. Sphinx of the Forgotten Lore, not too exciting, but Evando is cool. And we'll see what a Contested War Zone is real quick. All right, so whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, that creature's controller gains control of this land. All right, and basically, yeah, you can just give attacking creatures +1/+0 until end of turn. That's a pretty bad fucking card, man. All right, so, but hey, we got a foil stellar sight. That's kind of cool, I guess, even though it is one of the worst lands I've ever seen. My God, that is fucking awful. Okay, let us move on to part 2, the deck, the Commander deck. Let's see what this guy even does. And there should be a sample pack in here too, so we'll see what the dealio with that is. I was like, wait a second, is it like a full fucking, wait, what? What are these schemes? Okay. Is that like something specific? Let's see. Arch enemy cards? Okay. I'm guessing those are the arch enemy cards. I know there's like is it plane shift or I don't even know. I think it's plane shift. That variant of Commander. Do we not get a sample pack? Is it? Oh wait, no, it's in here. I'm just being dumb shit. There it is. Okay. And we got. Okay, that's the deck box. I mean, I like the little envelope things, but is it really completely necessary? Not really. We have the doors here, starring Jim Morrison. Just gonna get those out real quick. Okay, those are out. Woohoo! Yay! Success. Okay, we have deck here. We're going to do the sample pack first. That makes sense, right? Yeah. This is why we're here. See if we can get some super duper cool. And I can't remember. I know some of these you only can get cards from the Commander set, not anything from the main set. So I don't know, like Screaming Nemesis or Overlord, is that a possibility? That would be cool. As far as cards that are in the Commander set, I don't know what's good. So we'll see. We will see what is good. All right. Peer Past the Veil and Fear of Infinity. Okay, so these are cards from the main set, and neither of those is anything to write home about. So disappointing. But hey, the Evando planet, that was definitely a very nice pull from the Edge of Eternity's pack there. So at least we did well there. And I think this is going to be a fun commander for me to build around. So let's see what he does. He gets put into his commander sleeve here. There it is. Okay, so we have Winter, Cynical Opportunist. He's a 4-mana, 2/5 human warlock with Death Touch. When he attacks, mill 3 cards. Then he has Delirium. At the beginning of your end step, you may exile any number of cards from graveyard with 4 or more card types among them. If you do, put a permanent card, any permanent card, from among them onto the battlefield with a finality counter on it. Now, the reason I highlighted saying permanent card is that this ability, any permanent, so not just creatures, right? But then not including, like a sorcery or instant, of course. So a few things to talk about. So I mean, that attack trigger, milling 3 cards and putting more stuff in there, obviously helps with its delirium ability, and then also, you know, wanting more stuff that is multiple card types. So then it's easier to hit delirium. Stuff like Fear of Missing Out, right, being an enchantment and a creature, would be really good. That is a red card, so that doesn't work for this. But any enchantment creatures, right, artifact creatures, stuff like that, where you're getting 2 types, even 3. How many 3s are there? How many 4s are there? I don't know, but obviously that's what you would want to build around for this. And I thought this was a cool deck to pick up because I have quite a few reanimate cards that I had on my Gix deck and I ended up taking out because it didn't really make any sense. I was trying to do like discard and then card draw for myself and reanimate. And, you know, when you do too many things in one deck, it doesn't really work very well. But stuff like Buried Alive and Reanimate and Entomb, Arcana Cruelty, all the cool reanimate stuff. But needed a shell to really put that in, and I think this is definitely that shell. So yeah, we're just going to go through the cards in this deck. I'm going to sleeve some of them up on camera because, yeah, I am planning on making this my next EDH deck for one of my Thursday night Commander things. Let's see. So I'm guessing this is our secondary Commander here. It is Renma, Creaking Nest, 5 mana, 5/5, legendary artifact creature, Scarecrow. So right there, artifact creature, great for, you know, this guy as well. When he enters, and whenever you play a card with 2 or more card types, each player creates a tap 2/2 Blackbird creature token with flying. The tokens are goaded for the rest of the game. All right, interesting. And he's got Menace and Reach himself. Okay, I might like that more as the commander. We'll see. Yeah, I've seen this guy before. When he enters, each opponent sacrifices. Oh, I guess. Oh, yeah, I was going to say it's not that good. But as a reanimate target, it's not that bad. So, well, we'll keep him in here for now. But I don't think he's going to make the cut overall just because there's, like, an Arcana Cruelty, for example, is just a better version of this. Actually, I'm just going to put that aside. That's just going to be Arcana Cruelty. So, there you go. Night's Whisper. Not a bad reprint here. Draw 2, lose 2. Of course, there's Sign in Blood as well, which is the same thing, but Night's Whisper, as far as I know, there weren't as many reprints of this card previously. So it was, you know, a little bit harder to get, and then obviously being a colorless and a black as opposed to 2 black does mean quite a bit, but also you draw 2 and lose 2, whereas Sign in Blood is any player, which stuff with like Shouldered, for example, helps abuse that. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, that's correct. Okay. You always got your Arcane Signet, your Soul Ring now. Cool Soul Ring, though, I will say that. Suspicious Bookcase, that makes sense. I like that Command Tower as well. Yeah, I was thinking about, you know, the Commander products when buying this, and, you know, how much they've changed in recent years. Like when I had gotten back into it, right, there was still only the yearly Commander decks. And I'm not sure the exact point when it shifted over, because I remember like Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. Was that it? Maybe that is it. Because Eldraine had the Brawl decks. Yeah, that's right. Eldraine had the Brawl decks. The Ravnica sets, you know, had like Planeswalker decks or something. And then, yeah, Strixhaven was the 2020 Commander decks. And then, I think that's right. No, I went immediately to 2021, but that's right, because 2020 would have been the Ikoria Commander decks, and 2021 was the Strixhaven Commander decks, and then Adventures in the Forgotten Realms came out that summer, as did Modern Horizons 2. And Adventures in the Forgotten Realms had the Commander decks, as did the Innistrads that followed, and then like Commander Legends, they did those cheap ones that no one wanted. Same with who else did that? A little $20. Oh, Zendikar Rising. That was it. Which, you know, if you can get any of those for $20 now, like shit, the Boros one from Commander Legends, like you get a Sigarda's 8 in there, it's like a $20 card now. Sorry, enough rambling. We'll get back to what's actually here. Let's see, did I skip anything that was actually kind of interesting? Probably not. Stitcher Supplier. It's always a decent card, especially for something like this. This would probably be really good for Tyvar from March of the Machine, or for X. Is one of those sets, right? The 3-mana one. We got Mulch. And I'm sleeving all these up, and I'm already kind of thinking about what I want to get out. Yeah, I mean, Rampant Growth. I feel like there's so many better options at this point that I'm most likely not going to put that in there. We're going to put some of this garbage away real quick. Speaking of garbage, I'm still disappointed by that sample pack, man. That was lame. Lame. Waiting to see the Commander exclusive cards here. We'll get there momentarily. Binding of the Old Gods. It's a decent, I was about to say Simic Gruul uncommon. Of course, there's something like Burnished Heart is no longer one of those cards that I really dig that much in Commander, but it being an artifact creature in a deck that you want stuff in your graveyard, and that you're sacrificing it and ramping it and adding 2 card types to your graveyard, pretty freaking good. Same thing with Commander Sphere. Not a mana rock that I would have in every deck, whereas back in the day this might be in almost any deck, especially without Arcane Signet, right? But the fact that it can sacrifice itself at instant speed and draw you a card, and fill up your graveyard or trigger any abilities. Okay, so we are at the Commander exclusive cards, I believe. So we have Deluge of Doom, 3-mana sorcery. All creatures get -X/-X until end of turn, where X is the number of card types among cards in your graveyard. Okay, makes sense. Demonic Covenant, Kindred Enchantment Demon. Whenever one or more demons you control attack a player, you draw a card and lose a life. At the beginning of your end step, create a 5/5 black demon creature token. With flying, then mill 2 cards. If 2 cards that share all their card types were milled this way, sacrifice Demonic Covenant. Okay. Makes sense. 2 cards that share all their card. Okay. So meaning like if I milled an enchantment creature and an artifact creature, this would still be okay. But if I mill like 2 lands or 2 enchantments or something, then I'm just fucked. Into the Pit, Enchantment. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast spells from the top of your library by sacrificing a non-land permanent in addition to paying their other costs. Okay. Got a room here. All right, what are the 2 sides? So the first side for 2 mana. Whenever one or more creatures are put into your graveyard from your library, each opponent loses 1 life for each card type among those cards. When you unlock this door, mill 3 cards and return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay. We've got Demolisher Spawn, 7/7, 7 mana, 7/7, trample and haste. Whenever he attacks, there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. Other attacking creatures get +4/+4 until end of turn. All right, I like that. This is like a more fun, what's that motherfucker's name? Craterhoof Behemoth, right? Doesn't give your other guys trample, but an extra +4/+4 is nothing to write home about. And the fact that he's an enchantment creature, so he helps with the delirium thing, and also just a great reanimation target as well. All right, Kindred Sorcery Shapeshifter, a 3-mana changeling. Create an XX colorless shapeshifter creature token with changeling and death touch, where X is the number of land cards in your graveyard, and it has retrace. So you can discard a land or return it to your hand, and obviously then fueling up your graveyard with even more lands. Cool stuff there. We have Ursine Monstrosity, 3-mana, 3/3 bear mutant with trample. At the beginning of combat on your turn, mill a card and choose an opponent at random. Ursine Monstrosity attacks that player this combat if able. Until end of turn, Ursine Monstrosity gains indestructible and gets +1/+1 for each card type among cards in your graveyard. All right. Interesting card. Is it good? Can't say. which is interesting. Convert to Slime, 5 mana sorcery, destroy up to 1 target artifact, up to 1 target creature, and up to 1 target enchantment. It also has Delirium. Then if there are 4 or more card types in your graveyard, among cards in your graveyard, create an XX green ooze creature token where X is the total mana value of permanents destroyed this way. Cool. All right. We have the Moldgraf Monstrosity, 7 mana, 8/8, trample. When he dies, exile it, then return 2 creature cards at random from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay, I'm not really a huge fan of that. Cooling Ritual, which is a reprint here. And how many are these? Okay, are these all reprints now? Or okay, I think 37. Okay, and then 83. So I'm pretty sure this then is a reprint. You see, because we have like 37 here, 36, 34. So I'm pretty sure those are the exclusive ones to this set. And then the rest of these are reprints here. Okay, so let's see what reprints there are. And then we'll go through and talk about the lands in here. Ooh, Dryad Arbor. I already like that. That's always a nice one to see. All right, so Cemetery, Tempering, Noxious, Gearhulk. We have Ob Nixilis Reignited. For Planeswalker, Professor Onyx for the Planeswalker. Okay, there is already a Reanimate in here. I do like that. With the Erebos, Arachnogenesis, Deathcap Cultivator, Giant Adafray, Hornet Queen. It's a decent reanimation target. Inscription of Abundance, Wrath Widow, Scavenging Ooze, Titania, Nature's Force. Wait a second. Do I know this one? That's a reprint of another one. Renin 7, Dead Bridge Chant, Grim Flare, Grist the Hunger Tide, Old Stick Fingers, Solemn Simulacrum, and I do have a what's the Lich from Ravnica? I have one of those, so that would be a good one to add in. All right, so let's just go over the land base here. So like I said, already Dryad Arbor. I'm pretty happy about that. This is always a good one. And then of course, with the theme being you want as many card types on any individual card as possible, it is a land and a creature. So that is freaking fantastic. I like that a lot. Exotic Orchard. Not the best in flexibility, but not the worst. Grim Backwoods. So for 4 and tapping, you can sack a creature and draw a card. I mean, when you have a bunch of mana lying around the late game, anything that can help add cards to your hand and then, help those sack triggers as well. Llanowar Waste for the Pain Land. We got the Snarl. If you've ever heard me talk about the temples, I fucking hate them. So that's not staying here. Never need those. Never fucking need those, in my opinion. One of the filter lands with Twilight Mire. Fine with the filter lands. The Vericent Bog. Not sure. I mean, it is a filter land, but I forget what that land cycle is called. Woodland Cemetery. So don't remember the name of that land cycle. All right, we got some other artifacts here. Haywire Might. Always a nice card. Mind Stone, just like with Commander Sphere, a mana rock that, later in the game can refill itself. It is always nice. Whispersill Cloak, I was thinking about that. Definitely a good card for this commander here. Making sure he gets those attack triggers through. Ash Barrens, not always one of my favorite lands out there, but being able to cycle this for the basic land that you need and, put a card type in your graveyard. Very nice. Same thing with the 1 mana cycling lands. Juka Bog. Dark Moss Bridge. Do I want... it's not... Golgari Rod Farm is not too bad, because also I can put a land back in my hand and discard it for something to draw a card or something. No. Jungle Hollow, no. Gaining 1 life is not worth the land coming in tapped. I'd rather have a basic land. Temple of the False Gods. No. Tree of Tales for Artifact Land and Vault of Whispers. And again, two card types there, right? Artifact and land. So those are nice, even just being in the graveyard too. And then we got our tokens back here. All right, so yeah, overall, halfway decent deck for sure. I don't think there's anything to write home about with the Commander exclusive cards in this, which might explain why the price isn't around MSRP. Because yeah, none of these exclusive cards am I like, oh my god, it's amazing. They're fun for sure, and like Formless Genesis, like that could be a lot of fun, right? Discarding a bunch of lands from your hand to keep making changelings. It's a fun idea, but yeah, this definitely seems like an interesting deck. And as I was saying, I have stuff like Buried Alive and Entomb and Violent Tumor. Actually, I should probably put in here as well. And yeah, I'm just going to look through and definitely trying to make more of these cards have two card types. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. And already I think a card that I'm going to take out is, yeah, this guy here, right? Only one card type, and you don't get to choose the creatures. They're chosen at random. I'm already not a fan of that. So he's already going out. We're going to put this together, see how it goes. But good stuff. And I might end up picking that Simone deck up as well and see how it goes. But definitely happy about the Avendo from Edge of Eternities. And overall, decent opening experience here. Well, thank you for joining me. It's Drew Peoples from Peoples Collectibles once again. And until next time, friends,